Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video we gonna review Nikon D3200, one of the legendary Nikon camera. So this was actually launched back in 2020. Sorry, it was launched in 2012, so it's almost 9 year old. But still it works so awesome and it takes great images. This camera that I have in my hand, so it has only like 2000 photos taken with it, and I got it for around 120 US dollar, which is a very good price for this. I got this with the 1855 kit lens, but then I decided not to use that kit lens and I'm using this 50mm f1.8 lens instead, because with this I can get really good background blur and get really nice portrait shots, and also the low light performance would be really awesome with that lens. So talking about the technical specification for this camera, it's a 24 megapixel sensor and the ISO goes from 100 up to 6400, and you can boost it one level up to 12,800 as well. In terms of frame per second, it can shoot up to 4 frame per second, and the video capability is 1080p with 30 frame per second, so which is good enough. Like if you are shooting for video for YouTube, just like me, like sitting on a chair, for that, full HD video at 30 frame per second is good enough, guys. And yeah, I mean, it's a basic camera pretty much. Like if you have a look, it looks like this from the back, and from the side it has this SD card slot. And one interesting thing is that it does have the mic input, so if you want to attach some external mic to get better audio, so you can easily do that, and you can have a really awesome video with a good audio. Alright guys, so talking about the good things about this camera, so the first good thing about this camera is the price and the build quality. It doesn't feel cheap, it feels pretty solid, and the grip and the ergonomics are pretty nice, as are the case with most of the Nikon camera. And the second good thing about this camera is it's pretty easy to use. So if you are a beginner, you can get used to this camera in just a couple of days. Third best thing about this camera is 24 megapixel. Guys, like even some of the latest camera, they are having only 21 or 24 megapixel, and 24 megapixel in today's age is like much more than enough. You can do even professional kind of work with 24 megapixel. The next best thing about this camera is it does feature this live view. So in the live view you can see like what the camera is seeing, and then you can take a shot. And if you are using like older Nikon manual focus lenses, then it's really easy to manually focus using the live view to get a precise focus before you take the picture or the video. So it's a handy feature. And the other good thing about this camera is that this it's very easy to start making recording a video. You just have to press the live view and then just press this button. You don't have to switch between these modes just to get to the audio video, just like you have to do in the Canon cameras. So it's a very easy to use camera. Now talking about the bad thing about this camera, one bad thing about this camera is that it has this optical low pass filter. So if you have this optical low pass filter, it basically helps you introducing this Moire effect. But the downside to that is that it reduces the sharpness in the image or the video. So if you compare this with the Nikon D3300, 3400, 3500, 5300 or 5500 or any mirrorless cameras, the latest one, so there will be less sharpness because those cameras are not having this filter in front of the sensor. So that is one downside to this. And the other bad part about this camera is the low light performance, because the ISO range is not that great. If you are shooting a lot in low light, then there is a chance that you will get very grainy image with this camera, because it is not able to handle the low light noise as well as D3300 or 3400, guys. But yeah, now talking about the video from this camera, so the next sample that you're gonna see on your screen is the video that I have taken with this camera, so you can see for yourself how it looks like. Okay guys, right now the audio that you're hearing is directly from the camera and also the video, and I'm having the 50mm f1.8 lens on the camera. Let me try to focus straight. So it is very quick to focus, no autofocus noise. This lens is actually very silent, so you can use it for making really nice video. It doesn't do much focus hunting like the older Canon lens, 50mm Canon lens, not the non-STM one. So you can see how nicely the background is blurred out. Let me try to now focus on the background. So it's very quick to acquire the focus and not much focus hunting and noise, and the image looks really nice. Let me try to focus on that person who is traveling. Really nice and quick. Again, really nice. So I think this is a very nice camera for video, because the image out of the camera is really awesome. And if you are using this lens or the AFS, any of the AFS lens, so they are virtually silent, so you can make really nice videos, and the autofocus is pretty nice and snappy as well. Personally, I like the photos and the videos that I took with this camera. If you haven't seen the photos, I'm gonna put those photos on the screen so you can see for yourself how the photo looks like. And all these photos were taken using this 50mm prime lens, so I could get like a really good depth of field and the background blur. And I really liked the photos, like the colors and the contrast and the sharpness were pretty good for such a cheap camera. And you can judge for yourself if you like the photos or not. Now the final conclusion, whether you should get this camera in 2021 or not. Well, the short answer is yes. If you are a beginner photographer, you want to learn photography, or you are a hobby photographer like me, you are not doing any professional kind of work, then you can go for this camera, because you can get it really cheaply for like 120 US dollar. And the autofocus on this camera is really fast and snappy. It doesn't hunt that much and doesn't make much noise like some of the cheaper Canon cameras. So it's a great choice for a beginner guy to get into DSLR photography and master the basics of photography. And you can do some small projects as well, like you can cover like birthday parties or some small events in your neighborhood and get paid for that. But if you are like a professional who make a living out of photography, then maybe you shouldn't go for this camera. Then you should maybe go for something higher, or like a professional camera, like some of the Nikon Z series cameras, Z6 or Z7, or maybe like D750 or D600 or 610 full frame cameras, because your clients are paying you money for getting great pictures. So they should also you should also use the latest and the greatest gear just to deliver them the best images that you can. But for someone like me, who is just a hobby photographer, taking photos of your friends or covering some small events and those kind of things, for them this camera is really good enough, and it still takes awesome images, guys. And the video it takes are also really nice. It does all the job. Okay, if you have any question about this camera, you can actually reach out to me on Instagram. You can see my ID on the screen below. It's mayanksweden. You can follow me there and just post your question directly to me there, or you can post it in the comments in the video as well. And please guys, please subscribe to the channel. I need your support to grow, and in future I'm gonna bring like more nicer and useful videos for you guys as well. So please share the video, press the like button and the bell icon, and please do subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.